Hi everyone, it's Justine. Welcome to today's club video. I'm going to show you all the clubs first for June 2024 from Spellbinders, and then I'm going to show you 11 cards that I've made so far. I will have some more videos on my channel this month, starting with tomorrow, the stitched video. So if you're interested in seeing more, subscribe and stay tuned. So let's talk about the first club. I don't know why I just am like all of a sudden. Okay, the first club, this stamp, it's the Summertime Vacay set. It is full of really cool, these like little vacation keys and a whole bunch of sentiments. And then if you want, you can also get the coordinating die, which is also very helpful for cutting everything out. And then next, speaking of dies, there's the small die of the month. I'm putting pictures from the Spellbinders website on here, so these cards aren't mine at the very beginning when I'm explaining about the clubs, but once you see my hands, those cards are mine. But the Summertime Wade Pool is really cute. You can use the dies to make a hippo or an ice cream cone and make a rubber ducky inflatable tube or a turtle tube. Turtle tube. Say that 5 times fast. All right, moving on. We have the stitched ice cream, which has been, I think, my favorite of this month's clubs. I've made, I think, 4 in total, so there should be lots of inspiration for you there. If you're not interested in stitching or haven't tried it yet, try it with this one because it's fairly easy to stitch, and I will go over how I stitched that in tomorrow's video, June 2nd, the stitched ice cream cone video. All right, next we have the embossing folder, which is called Summertime Waves. It is perfect for lots of summer backgrounds. It doesn't even have to be for water waves. It could just be a really interesting background. I use that on my ice cream cone card, and I think it works just the same. And then these stencils. These are really interesting this month. So you can make 3 different little scenes. My favorite has to be the beach balls because I used lunar paste, so I will show that on my small die of the month. I pulled in the stencils. It's super fun to add a little sparkle with the lunar paste, but you can make different scenes with these stencils. Good grief, did the cat get my tongue before I started this video? I don't know. Anyway, you can make fun scenes, and it is called Summertime Graphics. The next one is the hot foil plate and the sentiments. So this is really awesome because anytime there's a set that is a one and done, or a cut once, or BetterPress once, cut once, or foil once, cut once, it makes crafting so easy, and these sentiments basically make themselves. So here's what they say. If you can't read backwards, I'll help you out. We'll see if I can read backwards. Hello friend are the big words, and then there is nothing better than ice cream and you, which I think is perfect to go with the ice cream cones. Hope things get sunnier soon, which could go with a lot of these clubs. May you enjoy your retirement to the fullest, which could go with any card at all. It doesn't even have to be a club card. Hope your day is relaxing as a walk on the beach, which could go with, I think, the large die, which I'll get to in just a minute here. And then time for another adventure, which could go on any card. And then one more, it's time to make summer memories, which would be perfect for adding onto, again, any card. Then we have the wax seal stamp of the month, and this one is called Sun and Waves. I love it. I went kind of dramatic with my card for this one, so you'll see in just a minute here what that looks like. And then I also went a little funky because with this stamp for this month, they are giving you the mixed pack of, I think mine was the teal mixed pack. So I had some fun making my own embellishments with the wax seal, or the wax, I guess, not the seal, but the wax that comes with it. So by the way, the Glimmer Club comes with a roll of glimmer. The wax comes with a little container of wax beads. So it's very easy to build up your stash and have fun colors and new stuff coming in when you subscribe to the clubs. Okay, and then last but not least, there is the Summertime, no, not Summertime Sentiments. It's the large die of the month. I will grab the name of that in just a second here. but it makes a really cool beach theme. And I love the idea of this one. I have played around with it a little bit. I made one big 5x7 card with it so far. Oh, it's called Summertime Vacay, of course. Oh, I think I misspoke. I think I said that that was what the stamp set was called. The stamp set's called Paradise Resort. There it is. And then the large die is Summertime Vacay. So it makes a really cool little scene. I will show you that on my large die video. And then last but not least, this super cute watermelon, which I'm going to use on my first card today. This, it says it coordinates with the small die of the month, which is true. But this, I'm fairly certain, is the free item that you receive in the Caboodle, which would be so fun to get. I always love recommending that to people because it is a really good deal. Anyway, I think it's adorable. It has the little dancing legs, which are easy to assemble. Again, I'll show you that on my first card here. So we'll just jump right in, shall we? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I would love to help you out. And let's get to making. So as I said before, my first card here is with the stitch die of the month. I am super excited to make this one because I've been loving this stitched ice cream. And this little watermelon, I'm turning into a lemon. I know it looks kind of like a watermelon, but I'm going to call it a lemon for this card because this, I thought about like sherbet, however you want to say it. This to me is like perfect summer treat, is a fruity drink and a ice cream like this. Maybe put it in a blender and make some fun things happen, if you know what I mean. I think this really reminds me of summer in general. Let's just put it that way. So I turned it into a lemon, and I used the Glimmer Club for this one to add fun sentiment to the bottom. It says a little something about enjoying your retirement. So to me, this little friend I think would be super sweet to give to someone who is retiring maybe around this time of year. I personally feel like this might be perfect for like a teacher, something kind of cutesy, but also summery. You know, sometimes teachers retire at the end of the year. So that's just kind of my idea behind this card. Plus I took the embossing folder, the 3D of the embossing folder of the month, and did some embossing powder on the bottom. So that was super fun to make it look like a lemon even more with that powder. All right, let's move on to the second one. I know it's another ice cream cone because I told you I really like this one. So here I am using it again, and I pulled in that wave embossing folder. This is just the regular embossing folder, and I thought that this gave a really fun, simple background, but it still created some interest because this ice cream cone is stacked. It has glitter paper, it has stitching, and it really is kind of the main part of this card, but I wanted to incorporate the sentiments. And I didn't want my card to be bigger than 5x7. I feel like that's kind of big already. So I went with having the embossing folder kind of take some interest on the sides of this project. And I really like the way that the layout turns out here for this one. And then I went with different flavors of ice cream cone or ice cream on here. We went with like a chocolate, kind of like a coffee kind, and maybe a vanilla on top, maybe a vanilla bean. I used all of those little glitter papers from my stash and really had fun with this. And of course I used glitter paper for my cherry on top as well. I really would love to encourage you to shop your stash. I know here in America the economy isn't doing the best, we'll just say, and I won't speak to other economies because I'm not an economist. I'm not an economist, but I know that sometimes things can be tight and you have a lot of goodies in your craft room already. I know it. So try to pull from what you got and maybe find maybe one new thing and find 5 other things in your craft room you can incorporate together with something new, but still using up your stash, because to me, it's really fun to buy craft supplies, but then you don't use them. So I'm encouraging you to use them. Now at this point I had to figure out, does the leaf go on the bottom of the cherry or on the top? So yeah, I did a little Google because my brain was mushy at this point. This was one of the first videos I filmed on summer break, and I was just loving my craft room time because the end of the year was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in my opinion, because we are moving school buildings, so packing up my classroom and everything has been a blur. So crafting has been my happy place, and I just am so thankful for card making because it has saved my sanity many times. All right, before I finish up this card, I am going to add one more leaf, one more stem, and one more cherry because I felt like it needed a little something extra. So I am going to pull in my purple lilac scout and use my little die from the leaf. It's really tiny, so I just needed a little scrap here and run it through. Look how easy it is to use the scout. Bada bing, bada boom. It's die cut just like that. I love it. I actually brought this over to my friend's house. We did some graduation cards and I used the scout a lot that day. We did some die cutting and funny story, I actually had my Fitbit on my watch, and as I was rotating everything through my scout, which I used a lot, it gave me all these steps, and I had been sitting for a long time crafting, and all of a sudden I had all these steps. So life hack. Just kidding. Make sure to get up and move. But it tells you how much I use the scout if I got all these steps from cranking and going all around. Anyway, I digress. Here is a finished look at this card. I love the sparkly floss with it as well. I think that everything here is just really tied together. All right, now I went kind of bold with the wax seal club for this month. It is a really pretty sun and waves scene. There it is. And I went with the ink, the color ink from the wax beads. I feel like I said ink really weird there. Ink. I don't know. But it's this really deep navy, almost a cobalt navy blue. And I used my metallic paint pens, the gold and the silver, and just gave a lot of detail to my wax seal. If you want to know how to wax seal, I would love to teach you. I have videos on my YouTube channel that you can find. There's a whole playlist called wax sealing, and I can show you in many different videos how to wax seal. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Like I said, with this club this month, you get the mixed bag of wax beads this month, which is really cool because it's almost like you get 4 separate colors, plus you can mix and match with those beads. So if you want to know how I use those wax beads to mix and match, I do have a video. I will link that in the description of this video of how I mix and use multiple colors of wax beads with a card. Now you see the 3 little wax beads on top, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. Those are simply wax drops. So I have no videos on my channel about how I do that, but basically it's just a little bit of wax and then it dries on the silicone mat and you pop it up. All right, now we're talking BetterPress here. I went a little crazy with my BetterPress cards this month. I made a whole bunch because I did like this leaf quite a bit. And I wanted some summer cards that weren't super girly, so I went green. And I pulled this die that is from BB Cameron, which we love. And this die is another one that lives on my desk. And I die cut it out 3 different times with different color papers. And then I cut it in the middle and then just did a little layering. And look at how I took one die and made it kind of a big focal point for my BetterPress sentiment. By the way, I used regular cardstock, nothing fancy there. And I used the color leaf for this card. So You can BetterPress on any paper and you can use any ink. I'm just saying. Speaking of BetterPress, look at this. I foiled my press plate. Yes, you can do that. It is kind of like getting a 2-for-1. So if you have a BetterPress plate, you can foil it. Love, love, love the pink. I know I said I wasn't going super girly, but there is a pink card. And then here I pulled in Vicky P's Sun from The Weekender. That sun will be coming out later this month. So if you want the sun, you can add it to your stash. And then if you look here at this ice cream cone carefully, you can see I made my own embellishments. Look at that. I used the wax droplets, and then I added a circle and the smile sentiment from Lisa Horton, which everyone is going crazy for, those 2 sentiments, happy and smile. So I love them as well. I've used them on a lot of cards actually. So I went with that one for my ice cream cone one. Now I do have another picture of the stamp set there. I used the stamp and made a really fun kind of background and stamped it out, Copic colored my little heart out, and made some fun scenes there. I really enjoyed making this one. Can you say relaxing color time? It was amazing. Okay. Anyway, and then I stamped the sentiment out with some embossing ink and used some white on black cardstock. And then finished with embellishments from my stash. With this card, I had leftovers from my lemon card, and I fussy cut out the embossing folder and I popped this beautiful glass on. And this glass is from the Weekender event. It will be available for sale from Spellbinders later this fall. But this glass was a replica from the card that I made with my class for the Weekender. So here's a look at my card that I made and my flamboyance of flamingos all around. But I really loved being part of the Weekender event. So if you were there, let me know in the comments just for fun. All right, now with these, I enjoyed making these so much. This is a shaker card. I took the stencil with all the beach balls and I stenciled out with lunar paste these beach balls, and then took a 1-inch circle punch and punched out all the beach balls I could, and then put them in the shaker. Because when I went to BetterPress my background on that card, for whatever reason, I grabbed my cutting plate instead of my Glimmer clear plate that goes on top, and when I ran it through my platinum, it had kind of some weird lines on it, and I did not want to throw it away because it was beautiful. It just had some lines. So to hide some of the imperfections, I popped it underneath a shaker window, put some really fun elements in there, added a little sequins, finished it with a glimmer sentiment, and bam, I have a beautiful shaker card that is kind of neutral for old, young, girl, boy, whoever. Anyway, if you're interested in how I used the lunar paste with that beach ball card, be sure to tune in back again next Friday, the 7th. I'm going to have a video on my channel where I talk about the beach balls and go through how I use the lunar paste with stencils. So if you're interested in that, come on back. Remember how I said to shop your stash? Well, that's what I did with this card. The background is pattern paper that I have had in my craft room for a long time. I have no clue where it came from, but the purples and blues are right up my alley, and I wanted to make a key card with the fun BetterPress sentiment and a glimmer sentiment. I cut them apart so it kind of was a little playful there, matted it with some yellow and black cardstock, and bam, I had a really fun 5x7 card. I don't know why I keep saying bam all the time in this video, but I am. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I would love to invite you to join my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group called the Spellbinder Maker Group. We're almost at 10,000 people, and when we hit that, I'm going to be doing some big giveaways on that YouTube group or the Facebook group. So be sure to join and be on the lookout for some really awesome giveaways coming soon. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching to the end, I'd love for you to pick a favorite, so let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye, crafty friend.